You do hear some of the downsides of technology, which is how jobs will start to change as a result of technology. If 40 to 50% of jobs in manufacturing and transportation and many of the other industries change, it means it's a time of transition, right? And all of this is happening. Meanwhile, this is actually both an opportunity as well as a threat. Because, for example, if there are apps that can look at you and tell if you're lying, obviously it's both an opportunity as well as a threat, right? And this is being brought to you, obviously, because of this little capability or a little law, which is called Moore's Law. And what it says is that every 18 months, the price performance of computing doubles. And as a result of this, what you have is the incredible ability to get things done at very, very low cost and in really, really small factors. Consider this, by 2023, you could go out and buy for 70,000 rupees the computing capacity of an entire human brain. A human brain is a marvel of nature. And to even get to the stage where you can go out and buy for 70,000 rupees, that capacity is absolutely crazy. And of course, it doesn't end there, because by 2050, you're going to be able to go and buy, again, for the same 70,000 rupees, the computing capacity of all people on Earth. Now, I do a lot of consulting work with boards of directors and CEOs of the Fortune 100 companies. And the biggest question that they keep asking me is, what is my organization look like in a few years if I have to make choices about using people or using these 70,000 rupees computers in my organization, right? And it's a good question. It may seem like it is change at a scale that humanity has never seen, and that is true, because this is change at a scale that humanity has never seen. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the midst of an industrial revolution. This one is the fourth industrial revolution. If the first three were all about, steam-based machines and electricity, and then the third one was about the internet, the fourth one is about how digital technology is changing the world. And this is all of the examples I was talking about. I was talking about the examples of how medicine is changing, of how legal professions are changing, of how farm workers' lives are changing. And that's really what happens during industrial revolutions. And to bring all of that back to Vibrant Goa and why this is such a big opportunity, when industrial revolutions happen, if you're an organization that was very successful in the prior industrial era, the third industrial revolution, you have to do something to actually transform yourself and be successful in the fourth. And that something is called digital transformation. And that something is why I think this is such an incredible opportunity for each one of you in the audience and every citizen of Goa. Because this is the opportunity for us to take charge, for us to figure out how we're not going to take the next 100 years to progress, but how we can leapfrog, how we can become better than anybody else in the world, because we have the capability, we have the talent, and we have the agility that it takes, the incredible passion. And I realized this a few years ago when I was at Procter & Gamble, and I set out to meet about 100 different CEOs of companies all the way from startups to venture capitalists to large companies. And one of the people that I was meeting was this person named AJ Wanolo, and I was talking to AJ about, hey, we should get together and meet. And we went back and forth on email, as you can see from the slide. AJ said, are you available? I said, well, I'm out next week. And then he said, fine, I will get Amy, who I assumed was his admin, to set up the meeting. And then, Amy went ahead and set up the meeting. Now, I know this sounds like a little bit of a strange story to tell you, except by clicking bottom left-hand corner on x.ai, you find out that Amy is a robot. Now consider this. Look at the email. Look at the English language construction of the robot's message. The context. When I say on April 10th that I'm not available next week, none of the options that Amy generates is in that next week. And then ask yourself, what is one of the most sensitive jobs in a company? It is probably the admin assistant of the CEO of the company. And to have that being done by a robot, and by the way, look at the date. This was 2015. So when we say technology is not ready, things don't work, it's going to take us 100 years to come up to speed on this, that is not true. The speed at which technology moves, what you have to do is you have to be very good at understanding how to use technology as an opportunity and to not worry about all the things that are not ready, because things will get ready very, very soon. And so what I'd like to do is to share with you that digital transformation is not for the IT profession alone. Of course, it's a big opportunity, and the more startups we have and the more large companies that we bring in, this is something that we all benefit, right? However, the ways of the world are such that technology is only an ingredient. And each and every one of you, if you're a lawyer, you have to understand how technology is going to, change the way you work. If you happen to be in the catering business, you have to understand how the food business is going to change as a result of this, right? And that's really the message I'd like to leave. I thought I'd throw, that little bit of anecdote there as a key message for you, actually, because sometimes we learn from children. And although the child is embracing the wrong kind of technology, that's not a robot, that actually is a water heater, that's fine. But the message I want to leave with you is you have to embrace technology, because that's really what is needed. And by the way, the reason why this is such a big, big opportunity for GOA is because if you're a leader of any of these industries, science and technology, waste management, shipping, education, agriculture, this is the time in the fourth industrial revolution to actually go have a plan. If you are an entrepreneur, you need to have a plan, because you shouldn't take the next 20 years to upgrade your technology. You have to leapfrog, you have to get there. If you are in a university, if you're in a school, if you're in a student, you have to experiment with artificial intelligence right now. And by the way, even if you have nothing to do with any of those as a layperson, you have to educate yourself on what technology can do. And as mentioned earlier, I had the pleasure of launching my book, which talks a little more about how you can be successful in this very, very disruptive era. But the first message that I would share with you as GOA is very simple. Have a plan. Because the worst time to not have a plan is in the middle of an industrial revolution. And what I will share with you is that the incredible capability that I see in GOA, the incredible ability of students and the hunger among students to learn, the incredible flexibility that people have to experiment and do everything that is needed to be successful. That's exactly what is needed in an industrial revolution, because if there's one thing that we have learned over the last 3 industrial revolutions, it's not the people that know the technology that win. It is the people who are flexible, who are hungry, and you want to take advantage of that technology. Because if Amy the robot can do calendaring for CEOs, if supply chain planning could be done by artificial intelligence, if the job of a judge in China could be done by a robot, if camel racing in the Middle East could be done by robots, then you certainly have much more capability to win in this industrial revolution. And so, before I conclude, I thought I'd show you one other interesting video. I mentioned earlier about how camel racing in the Middle East is now done by robots. I thought I'd end by showing you exactly how that works.
Camel racing is an ancient tradition in the Arab world, but mechanical jockeys used today have only been around for a decade or so. The jockeys weigh about 6.5 pounds. They come equipped with a walkie-talkie so the camel can take directions, and a small whip, which is activated by a remote control.
I would like, as a first round, for you all to quickly introduce yourself and talk about what is the bare minimum thing you all are doing with emerging technologies in your organization. Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you very much, Mangarish. It's an honor to be here, to be at this event, at this panel, and being able to share some of our thoughts and ideas on an important topic. And congratulations on a great initiative that you have started. I'll share a little bit about what we are all about and what we are doing in these areas. I have a portfolio of technology businesses, software in particular, solutions on the cloud that address various different problems in specific sectors. Building, home improvement, construction, telecom, retail, these are the areas that we touch in. There are so many things that could be done with the technologies that are available now. We can obviously address every one of those. Well, we take a few pieces of this and see what impact we can have. So I'll go into more of all that. I also...
Mic close.
Oh, okay. This is better now? Okay. It's interesting to note all the various good things that are happening in terms of incubation and promoting the state. So along those lines, I also run the local chapter of the Industrial Entrepreneurs TIE organization in Dallas, which some of you might be familiar with. And we also encourage, nurture, fund, help grow businesses in some of these areas I just mentioned, and other businesses as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mangarish, and thanks to the Vibrant Goa and the IT, the organization here for inviting me. My name is Vijay Thomas. I run a software company called Tangentia. We call ourselves Global Boutique Digital Transformation, so very similar to what Tony Saldana spoke a few minutes back. We are right here in Goa. We have a booth as well, so you can come by and have a look at what we do. We work on lots of emerging technologies, AI, RPA, blockchain, and we'll chat about that later. And you know, absolutely a lot of things can be done, and a lot of things are being done as we speak out of Goa, and I can definitely speak to that, and we can definitely have a conversation as we go along. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Sanjay, and I'm from Bhutan. I'm from an IT background, and my company has different type of business related with internet service provider. And we are into surveillance, CCTV cameras. We are making cameras. In fact, we are assembling CCTV cameras in Bhutan. And we are working on AI in CCTV camera, and very soon we will be coming up a product which has an integration of AI for the small segment, means small shops or small offices, which company need artificial intelligence to track any person or any type of theft and all. It will be very, very useful. So we are working on that. Thank you so much.
Morning, everyone. So there is a saying that we have in the bank that we are a technology company in the business of banking. And I think that's it's largely true for any bank today to exist. Hi, my name is Bhupesh. I head the advisory function in the bank, where we do a lot of business advisory and also government advisory. One of the economists way back during the Great Depression time, he said that government's role in boosting aggregate demand cannot be ignored. And I think that gave a very different twist to the popular economist of the West, which is Adam Smith. So Keynes actually said this, and we feel that especially countries like India, government will always have a pivotal role. And the function that I handle largely work with government in understanding the payment points. And we also understand that the resources will always remain scarce, and bank has to add value in terms of ensuring that those resources are optimally utilized financially. So that's what we do in the bank, and I largely look at some of the sectors: urban infrastructure, smart cities, e-mobility, logistics, tourism and hospitality are the some sectors where we work with the government on the policy formulation and also business advisory.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks, Mangesh, for inviting me for the Emerging Technologies panel discussion. My name is Girish Kapoor. I am managing partner of Iris Consulting Services as Navjana. They're two different companies, but under the same roof. And we focus primarily on the digital transformation as well as the traditional technology services, where we basically help customers to move from on-prem to cloud, and also do a lot of data activities, like we play with data. We consider ourselves as the data experts. We can extract data from any platform and apply our models, AI models, on top of the data and help you come up with the decision-making insight that helps you to drive your business. Coming industry of the technology is like everybody is moving to digitalize, and I believe the new technology like AI, ML, deep learning, as well as the RPAs are the next level of game changer in the IT industry. So would love to discuss more about that, and any questions from the audience would be happy to answer those. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. The vibrant Goans. I'm Clavis Toscano from Indo-Baltic Chamber of Commerce and Industry from Estonia, a very small country like very small state Goa. And I'm the president of Indo-Baltic Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we help Indian companies, mainly startups, mainly the youth, who is the future of our country, of the world, to come and set up their offices, their startups in Europe via Estonia, and we give them a global platform. So thank you very much, and we look forward to welcoming you to Estonia. Thank you.
So thank you, gentlemen. I believe that was a quick intro with also the audience can prepare their questions for as they know what's the background all about. So taking it ahead. So as a first question, so the questions would be quite simple. Some may be specific to a few people. So like I would ask a few to Mr. Bhupesh, as he's more on the banking side. So I may ask something around fintech. Sanjay is around AI. He's doing something. So I believe you can answer. It's open. So going with my first question. So a lot of people for a long time were confused between this blockchain, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. So now that we have a lot of clarity on the same, a lot of big giants and small startups have started venturing into this blockchain technology. So maybe you could just help me, how do you think blockchain can really change things and get transparency and security? And let us talk about with respect to maybe government, pharmaceutical, healthcare, etc., and any other industry which I've missed, if at all. So it's a question open to.
May I answer this?
Please, sir.
I think Estonia is the best country to describe blockchain technology. In fact, it is the most advanced country in the world in terms of digital economy. Just to give you a little bit of small information how Estonia started. They got their independence in 1991 after several occupations from Germany, from Swedes, from Russia. And they are just 1.3 million, unlike in India we are 1.3 billion people. And they had no human power, so there was no other way than to go completely digital for them. So government was the first one to accept and promote blockchain technology. So you'll be very surprised with one of the latest technologies that they have enrolled, and it is open for the citizens, the global citizens, no matter which country you come from. You can establish a company in Estonia online from your office in 30 minutes. And for example, in Estonia, with this blockchain technology, we are talking about healthcare industry. So the moment a child is born, the child is given a number which remains with him throughout the life. And right from the childhood, till your adulthood, whatever medical prescriptions, medications, everything that you can have will be completely digital. You will never have a medical prescription in Estonia. It's completely paperless. So when you go to a doctor, you just provide we have a card like we have Aadhaar card here. You just provide your card to doctor. He puts into a system. He has all your data online. He will never ask you a question when you visited a doctor or what was your medical history, because he can see everything on cloud. And then he gives you a prescription based on your disease. And you go with that card to a pharmacy, and you just give the card to a pharmacist, and he gives you medicine, completely paperless. Plus, a lot of people have kind of a mistrust that blockchain or crypto could be something fishy. But in Estonia, we call ourselves, you are the true owner of your data. So what happens is, you can see who has logged in to your data by logging in. And if you see that maybe health ministry has logged into your data and they checked whether you have diabetes or blood pressure or maybe some diseases, you can write to them and ask for clarification. Why did you access my data without my permission? And if they fail to give you justification, you can literally sue them in court. So Estonia is the first country and quite exemplary how we can have blockchain technology even in India, or very importantly for state of Goa.
Thank you. That's very fantastic. Like Singapore, it's a small country, and you can always start pilots in a small country because it's easy to implement, and with just 1.3 million population, I think so. What Estonia is doing is fantastic. So maybe I would like to hear from Vijay, what exactly is happening in Canada with blockchain now?
Yeah. So one is, I think, blockchain, people talk about blockchain as the solution for everything, right? So I want to say it is not. It's just to set expectations. You can't have a one-shot solution for the problems of this world. So, one is there is costs as well. I think with the government involved in Estonia, the ledger, if it's a shared ledger or a central ledger, there is money that's cost that is actually goes into incurring that. So you need somebody with deep pockets to be able to hold these things and make sure that it is actually put in place. So we've been talking to companies, and I also see people saying let's use blockchain to solve a problem that exists in a supply chain, right? My vendors don't pay me on time. They supply me substandard goods. Let's put blockchain. It's not going to solve the problem. And there's going to be an increase in costs, right? So who is going to pay for that cost? Is your end customer actually going to pay the cost of the blockchain? In most cases, no. So can we, so there are possibly situations where blockchain does help. I'll give you an example of one of the biggest mobile currency exchanges is a app called M-Pesa in Kenya. which they say almost 20% of the GDP in Kenya gets transferred through M-Pesa. And M-Pesa is not blockchain enabled, right? So you can do a lot of stuff without blockchain as well. So blockchain is not the silver bullet to solve all the problems. But having said that, there are definite use cases, there are definite situations where blockchain can be used. There are governments in Canada as well that are trying to figure out how to use blockchain. Banks, there is situations, unfortunately right now, a lot of the anonymity that blockchain provides, right? The factor is you can send some shipment, to Africa, somebody picks it up, you don't know who really picked it up, but you're sure they picked it up and they're paying you. So the relevance
so
of
you can definitely check with the provenance of the whole good. That's what you mean to say.
Yes, but the anonymity and all this thing, today the relevance of some of this is to actually the bad guys, the Colombian drug smuggler, some mafia in Russia. These guys are the guys that see the great value in blockchain because they're unseen, okay, which is quite not what we want, right? So the benefits of this thing are being seen by, and that is what the problem is. And there is a moral and an ethical thing in this, which we can talk about later.